Well, school is closed today for the Reading Community Schools after a threat. Yesterday, a person said he would shoot up a school on Jefferson.
Police arrested Scott Napier for the threat, but it brings up actually a bigger question. Why are we seeing such an uptick in school threats? Locally, at least a dozen kids, and that's not a small number, have been arrested for allegedly making threats following the deadly high school shooting in Florida.
Yeah, and are students becoming more violent? Is it a cry for attention over social media? What's the answer here? Well, 9 on your side's Julie O'Neill spoke with a child psychologist to find out why there are so many school threats going on. Julie?
Very interesting conversation. Okay, so the Educators School Safety Network tracks the number of incidents or threats of violence. Since the Florida shooting, this organization says there have been an average of 78 per day in this country. That's compared to the normal 10 per day around the country.
As a psychologist, I see so many children and teens, who have no sense of empathy.
Psychologist Dr. David Marcus believes the increase in school threats and follow-through, such as in Florida, is rooted in the dramatic change in the way children interact and don't.
There's a lack of socialization due to screens. Children aren't out there playing, so they're not getting the socialization to develop empathy. If all they have is fantasy without a dose of going outside and finding out if they hit somebody, they hit them back, then it stays in fantasy.
Dr. Marcus says social media has had a way of turning one schoolyard bully into hundreds of them, and it's increased kids feeling isolated.
We all need to be attended to. We all need someone to be there and understand us and help us. If we don't have that, we seek it.
Where does the copycatting come into play?
Copycatting comes into play when they see people being attended to, getting the attention that they crave.
They saw the kids on TV from Parkland, and they said, gee, that's really cool. I'd like to get that kind of attention too. But what they really need is attending to. We need more support, more nurturing. We need more socialization for sure, so the kids realize what they do has an impact on others. Too much fantasy, not enough attending to, not enough nurturing, and a weapon. Put them together, you've got a perfect storm.
And we wanted to bring Julie back into the studio to talk more about this. Julie, we were talking about this in our morning editorial meeting, and the one thing that came up is something like this might not necessarily have happened when we were all in high school a few decades ago.
And there really is, when you look at when the screens started coming into play, less interaction. We don't see the kids out on the streets playing with each other and interacting.
This is true.
Like they usually. It's not that per se what they're watching. There's a lot of good stuff to watch on the screen. It's the level of time they spend there and that taking the place of the actual interaction. And when you get to this mental health piece, I spoke to guidance counselors in Boone County and others. They don't have enough of them. That's one of the concerns they have is so many kids need, as Dr. Marcus said, attending to.
You would go out, at daybreak, sunrise, and then you were told when that street light came on,
That's when you'll be back for dinner.
You would be out all day long playing and talking to your friends and doing whatever.
It's a different day, and we as parents have to look at that and limit some of that screen time and figure it out.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
All right, going to take it truly a village. Thank you. And we want to hear from you, of course, about the sudden spike in threats. Are there any solutions out there that you can think of? Call the Feedback Friday hotline at 513-852-4998. We're going to share your thoughts this Friday night at 6.